It's definitely a land of opportunity.
I mean, yeah, I can go a mile down the road and I'm out in the country again.
School districts, of course, with the Marysville.
Because we don't really have a large daytime crowd.
The traffic killed the commute.
That, I think, opened up opportunities as well for growth. 1970, we were 5,700. 1980, we were 7,400. 1990, we were 9,000. And then we started growing a lot faster. In 2000, we were almost 16,000. 2010, 22,000. And then 2020, 571.
In terms of data, 1970, Powell was 374 people. In the recent census, 14,173, and then they're projecting a little bit more. The break point was about 1980 when the developments first started.
We also have a highway here called US 33 that was built for Honda. That, I think, opened up opportunities as well for growth. But then again, you're close enough to get to Dublin in 15 minutes, or to get to downtown Columbus in 30 minutes, to Easton in 35 minutes, Polaris less, half hour. So you're not that far away from all the benefits of a big city, but you're far enough away not to have to put up with the traffic. So you're separated from some of the big hustle that goes on in the city.
One reason, and this is basically why I came to Powell, is the commute to Columbus is very easy. I used to live in Licking County, and when Wexner started his development around New Albany, I went from a 40-minute drive to an hour and a half. It was before 161 was turned into a superhighway, but it just killed the traffic, killed the commute. And I worked at OSU, so it was a straight shot down 315.
So we have a workforce shortage, and it's partly due because we got away from our basics that we understand in Ohio. In Ohio, we know how to grow things, ag, and we know how to make things, manufacturing. We also know how to innovate, which is, we have a lot of R&D in the state. And so we got away from those values and what we're good at, and we went a different direction. College prep is the only way, and college prep is not the only way now. And we know that, and I think things are changing, and the mindset around manufacturing and R&D are changing. We have a lot of blue-collar jobs here in Marysville. We also have a lot of white-collar jobs as well. So, so that's kind of part of why we have a workforce challenge, because I think we got away from what we're good at. So we actually have 26,000 people who commute into the county every day to work, and we only have 21,000 that commute out.
Workforce really hasn't increased within the city. One of our disadvantages is that people comment about some of the restaurants and why don't we have more of those types of things, because we don't really have a large daytime crowd. So in the morning, most of the people are out. They're going to Columbus. We got a lot of people that work at Honda that go to Marysville, or maybe they come over here to Dublin. That's where my office is. So we don't really have a sustainable daytime population. Now, after work, everything comes back. And so that sort of drives that commercial development. Now, once this hospital is up and running in 2 years, you're going to see a big change. The other thing that Powell has a disadvantage of and sort of, holds it against some of the other communities is we don't have like a freeway access, right? Far enough north of 270 where it's probably a little too far if I have a company of, 150 people that I'm going to make them that I'm going to, locate my business here. These people want a unique experience in the evening. And so now a lot of these businesses that were antique stores have turned over into restaurants or, something. It's almost like an mini entertainment district.
The top reason was to live in a better community was the number one reason. We thought employment would be number one. Number two was to be closer to family. What we found is that we have a lot of grandparents that are moving here too as well because they want to be close enough to grandchildren but far enough away. And then the number three was employment in the survey that we conducted. So, the other thing that we that Marysville has is we have really good school districts, of course, with the Marysville, with all the school districts in Union County are really good. We have a STEM school. We have lower taxes than other communities, for example, which is an attraction. I believe the land tends to be less expensive, which I think is attractive.
We had 4 kids under the age of 2.5.
Wow.
So we needed room. We were attracted to the schools, and it was still pretty affordable. I mean, you get a lot of house for your money, and it still is. But we liked the area and thought it would be fun.
The one thing I would point out is, this community really works together well, and we find ways to partner. There are definitely challenges, but when it comes down to it, we roll our sleeves up and we solve our problems together. We don't point at fingers. We try to find ways to solve problems together. Then again, if you go in Uptown Marysville, it's much more eclectic here. Everything's not perfect here. So you have different doorknobs, different, this is not like Bridge Park, not the same windows, not the same paint, not the same everything. It's eclectic, which I think makes Marysville special.
This is downtown Powell in 1974, looking north on Liberty Street. It sort of looks the same, but not really. Literally in this region, this area, I think all the buildings have actually been saved. They've been renovated. This reddish building is still there. It's antiques. The building next to it is still there. Now that one is actually from 1970, probably is a replacement. There used to be a blacksmith shop that was torn down and replaced by an ice cream shop, sort of in the same style. This big red building is still there. That's from 1910, so it was there in 1970. But this building is still there. It's been through 2 or 3 different owners. It was a grocery store in the 70s. It was a Sunday Dispatch in 1974, March 31st, 1974. And you probably recognize it. There's no stop sign there anymore. This is essentially looking at the northwest corner of Olentangy and Liberty. And the red brick building that's now a barber shop and Kimberly's Diamond Cellar or whatever they call it, and a couple of other businesses. At that time, that's where the mayor's office was, right there on this corner. A small white building now with a hip roof. Well, that's been there since about 1880, and that has had any number of lives. Started out, I'm not sure what it started out as. It was the post office at one time. It was a bank. When Liberty Township first established high schools, a high school, they had no building for a high school, so that building was used for high school classes, believe it or not. But I love that picture because, but there are two people and a kid leaning against the fence.
Yeah.
Nothing else on the street. So what it looked like on a Sunday afternoon in 2019 is in the other picture.
Our dealership, our Honda, Bruce Daniels is on TV all the time, the Honda Marysville dealership, he always says we're closer than you think. The one thing I would think that people don't really think about Marysville, it's definitely a land of opportunity. You can come here and you can do what you want to do. You can work for major corporations. You can make a lot of money here. You can grow a family here. it's kind of a hidden secret as well. There's opportunity and there's prosperity, and people can come here and do so much better for themselves. And
I feel like it's still easy to get around up here.
Yeah.
You just kind of got to know the way to get around. I think some of the improvements that we've made in the area have helped that. But it's still, I can go a mile down the road and I'm out in the country again still.
Yeah.
So will it be
Yeah.
like that in 5 years? No, but it's pretty up
Yeah.
here too.